Good evening and welcome to the Gold Goats and Guns Hour here on YouTube. My name is Tom Luongo. It's Monday, it's April 19th, 2019, and I'm actually a couple of minutes early. The reason I'm a couple of minutes early is I'm going to be on with Jim Rents at 9 o'clock sharp tonight, so I got to cut this thing off right at about 8:55 so I can run downstairs, make another cup of coffee, and then do it all over again. So that's really cool. So we've got, we did Sputnik on Friday with Lee and Garland on Fault Lines. We're going to do Jeff Rents tonight. We're doing our show, and we bookend both the weekend shows with those two interviews. So should be fun time. Jeff's always a good always a good chat. Audio static. How is that possible? Static? Really? Huh. Interesting. Still there? Oh wow. There's something coming through. How's that? Is that better? All right, cool. Setting on the microphone change. Sorry about that. Let's start all over again. So, shall we begin again? No one expects to spend a no. So, welcome to the Gold Goats and Guns Hour. There we go. Welcome to the Gold Goats and Guns Hour. It is Monday night, the 19th of August. I'm going to be on with Jeff Rents tonight at 9 right after this. So I'm going to cut off a couple of minutes early in case you guys didn't hear that the first time when I was talking earlier. Let's go into that. Tonight we're going to talk about a couple of things. I want to talk about what I wrote about yesterday on the blog over at tomluongo.me. You can also follow me on Twitter at TFL1728. And I'm sure there are other places that you can follow me as well. Also, right over at moneymarkets.com and also for culture.com. So let's talk about Saudi Arabia. And remember, if you're interested in supporting the channel, you can do so through Patreon. You can also, since I am a verified publisher on Brave, if you have Brave, you can download Brave. You can earn some crypto, and you can give me you can tip this channel here on YouTube. You can also tip me on Twitter. You can also tip me on the blog as well. So all of those things are available. And interestingly enough, if you actually use Twitter on Brave, the browser, there's a little tip button right next to the reply, like, retweet thing, and then tip. It's all right there. It's actually kind of nice. So the interesting little tidbit for or have taken me up on the offer. Gotten use my referral code to sign up with Brave, which is really quite awesome. Kind of chatting here to get a couple more people in the channel before we get started. Because of course, I'm early, so. But all right, let's get started with Saudi Arabia. So then, okay, so yeah, this isn't censorship, guys. This is just me and Boomer Tech. So over the weekend, Saudi Arabia, Yemen, the Yemenis, the Houthis in Yemen send a drone 700 or something like 700 miles north of their actual position to attack one of the major oil fields in the eastern part of Saudi Arabia. An oil field, by the way, that produces over 1 million barrels of oil a day. Now, what's interesting about this is Bernard over at Strategic Culture had a great article, and this Alistair Crook also over Strategic Culture this morning had a tremendous article going over this and the relationship between Saudi Arabia and the UAE, which is now on the rocks as well, because the UAE were backing the separatist southern part of Yemen. They've now pissed off, and now that's done. Saudi Arabia can't gain any ground to the north. Got southern Yemen is now a distinct area, and the Houthis were dug out of their position in the west portion of the Arabian Peninsula, north of Aden. So now what? What this means, of course, is that these low-tech drones, and again, I refer you to the article that Bernard over at Moon of Alabama wrote. The low-tech nature of these drones, the way they avoid radar by effectively just not having any kind of transponder, because they're kind of guided to a GPS point. That's it. They're not actively managed. Because of that, They can fly for hundreds of miles, effectively, and then they can strike pretty much anywhere they want. Now, if we go back to the drone shoot down by Iran of the U.S. Global Hawk drone back in June, remember I said then this, and the fact that President Trump didn't respond militarily, which was the smart thing to do, because the asymmetric response from Iran and China and Russia and everybody else and Hezbollah and everyone else would be such that the United States would not be able to control the battlefield. They would not be able to control the situation. No matter how much shock and awe we put on the ground and how many EMPs we set off in the western coast of Iran and bomb it back to the Stone Ages, won't change anything. Because Iran has armed everybody in the freaking region, and the missiles will be coming from everywhere, and the rockets will be coming from everywhere, the drones will be coming from everywhere, and they'll hit Riyadh, and they'll hit Tel Aviv, and they'll hit not Beirut, they'll hit they won't hit Jerusalem, but Tel Aviv, and it will not stop. You will turn the entire place into a war zone that you cannot control the front of. It does not matter how much logistics, military logistics to the table. Can't, I've said before, only an idiot fights a war on two fronts. Only an heir to the throne of the kingdom of idiots fights a war on 12 fronts. And effectively, what would happen is everyone would be, everything would become a front immediately. The Iraqis just shut down their airspace. If the Israelis, indiscriminately bombed an ammo depot, killing civilians just outside the green zone in Baghdad. The Iraqis are like, that's enough. No. We're going to start shooting down your fucking planes, jackasses. So, all of these things, all of these events are all downstream of the fact that Trump refused to go to war when he was set up to do it in the moment, and he didn't do it. Because of that, we are now downstream of that moment, the same way that we are downstream all the effects of Putin's intervention in Syria in October of 2015. We could even go back one step further when he was able to broker peace over the chemical weapons attack at Ghouta in 2013 that forced Obama to stand down. I mean, this is all a continuum of moments of resistance and moments of that these are major moments that history turns on. And one of these events, every one of these events has cause and effect, and we can see the downstream effects of them and we're now 2 months downstream of, or nearly 2 months downstream, or 2 months downstream of the Global Hawk being shot down, and the Americans can't even impound an oil tanker in the Mediterranean and make it stick. $10,000 or $20,000 drone just paralyzed trillions of dollars of military hardware because of the potential effects on the oil markets, futures markets, commodity markets, the global economy, and all of it. It's insane how easy it is when you really stop to think about it. I remember arguing with people, certainly right after it happened, writing an article that no one liked. Response on Zero Hedge was, I'm done with this guy. He's a son of a bitch. What the hell does he think Iran is going to take on the United States and win? What the fuck's wrong with him? I'm like, no, I never said that. I have to. Iran would preemptively strike and shut down the Persian Gulf, and would shut down Dubai and the Saudi oil fields and this and that and everything else, and the rockets would fly. If Iran felt that they were backed into the corner, they would strike first, knowing full well that no matter how they struck, the United States would wipe them out. So you might as well take everybody with you first, because, hey, you want to talk to God? Let's go see him together. I've got nothing better to do. And that idea was lost on so many people. It was lost on like, this is the way they view us at this. This is the way they're talking. And it played itself out because the United States blinked. Donald Trump is not That guy, he doesn't want to go down. He cares too much about his legacy. He cares too much about his image. He cares too much about all of that shit. He doesn't want to go down as the biggest mass murderer in history. So I knew none of that was going to come to pass. I knew exactly what was going to happen is what has happened. Every time the United States has attempted since then to ratchet up the pressure on Iran, Iran just asymmetrically ratchets pressure on the U.S.'s allies that much harder. And so now Israel can't fly into Iraq without losing F-16, potentially. Saudis are scared to death of losing major oil fields. That's simple. So now let's take that one step further. This is all happening at the same time as the Syrian Arab Army and the Russian Air Force had started a campaign to take back Idlib from Turkish-backed Salafist head-chopping Sunni radicals. Guess what? You don't think that there's like a connection there? Trump gets his ass handed to him, has to fulminate and bluff and huff and puff and blow your house down, and the house is made out of bricks. Oops. And then the Russians and the Syrians tell Erdogan, sorry, no, we're wiping these guys out. Move them out. And what are they doing now? They're creating a cauldron around Khan Shaykhun. Khan Shaykhun. Name should be familiar. That's the place that's the air base that Trump bombed. So I'll get to your comments. I will get to your comments in a minute, guys. I'm reading them as I go along. But let's talk about that. How quickly, while that's a campaign that's going to take a long time. It's not going to be easy. Those guys are dug in like ticks. It's going to take a while. But the first major, not Khan Shaykhun. Khan Shaykhun was where the chemical weapons attack was staged, and Al Shirat was the airbase that got bombed, right, by Trump. But Khan Shaykhun, right, that's been in rebel control now for, 7 years? Not for long. The Syrian Arab Army reached the M5 highway earlier today. Cauldron will be, the classic Russian cauldron will encircle Khan Shaykhun, but I don't think they're going to close it anytime soon. I think they're going to, leave it open so that they have, fish in a barrel that they can just fucking bomb those sons of bitches as they try to flee. Either that, or Putin's going to use this as a bargaining chip with Erdogan to say, look, you want your little pets to move them over west of Afrin or east of Afrin and Manbij? You want them over there to fight the Kurds? Fine. You're going to start giving up all of this territory. Because this DMZ, these outposts you have in Syria, they're all done. They're gone. And you're going to remove them all. Because we're going to wipe out all of these guys. Every one of them, and you're going to withdraw your support from them. You can send them over to attack the Kurds in the eastern part of the country. That's it. We're done. So, the title of the talk tonight is that the empire is in retreat in the Middle East. It is. And as bad as Trump's policy has been, guess what? Like everything else. So what? But it was okay when it was Obama. Obama was supposed to be the peace and hope and change candidate, right? Didn't believe that one either. We thought we had something real with Donald Trump. Well, guess what? Presidents change and policy doesn't. We were wrong. Let's move on and let's not engage in any kind of cheap moralizing about how terrible it is that Trump betrayed us. He did. I think that was a given 2 years ago. Now he's trying to save face by saying, hey, we're gonna remove 8,000 troops from Afghanistan. Yeah, including the 8,000 you put in 2017. You still want to leave a whole bunch of them there so that you can watch Iran. The same thing with Iraq. We want to leave all of our troops there so we can watch Iran. The Iraqis are having no part of this shit either. No one wants the Americans to stay in their country anymore. You're going to leave. Leave. You're not going to leave. Stop fucking around for political purposes in order to try and make it look like you're leaving when you actually aren't. And the military budget keeps rising every year. I mean, you know, unless Denmark takes Trump up on his offer about Greenland, and we're going to transfer all the troops there so they can starve the fucking the logistics line. Not short of it. But, you know, not when the farmers can't plant any fucking corn. So. I did not see, so Tweety Bird asked me, I did not see the Putin-Macron joint statement today. I'm sure that Putin is humored Macron and made sure that the statement was, you know, we're not going to bomb civilians. Of course, we're not going to bomb civilians. We're going to bomb the bad guys. Putin is not going to listen to Macron. Macron is looking for legitimacy for setting EU policy. The statement there is simply about him still trying to take Merkel out and remove Merkel from the picture because now Putin's negotiating with him. Shit. Putin's made it abundantly clear. He will kill every terrorist he can get his hands on. And he can drop a bomb on. He's very clear about this. And no one meeting with Emmanuel the Toady Macron is going to change that, especially since Macron's not long for power anyway. So Macron, of course, was pushing for the line of not bombing Italy because, of course, Macron, like every other fucking useless, feckless French president, wants Assad removed from power because he works for globalists. Putin's like, no. Whatever their statement was, I don't buy it. Bringing in one step closer, Dragon M reminds us that Europe is in a bad recession. They just refuse to admit it because, you know, when you can create money at will, you can create whatever numbers you want. They may be finally forced to end sanctions on Russia, which is hurting them all badly. It's true, and I'm sure that the Russians would be happy to have the sanctions. And you have to remember that we're into that period now where it's been 5 years. And after 5 years, markets shift. After 10 years, they're lost completely. So it's time to end those sanctions now. Got to happen soon. Because if it doesn't, then the European producers are going to have a hell of a time getting back into the Russian market. Why do you... Okay, so Jonathan, you do this all the time. You ask me questions about when. Know when our troops are going to Syria. Our troops are not going to leave Syria as long as John Bolton's in the White House. They'll stay there forever. We have as much money as we have enough money to send troops over. We will stay there. For as long as the Kurds will have us. We will stay there. We will be there for 20 years if necessary. Ask yourself the question whether the United States is going to be around in 20 years or not. That's a different story. But as far as right now is concerned, we'll be there forever. We want to be in Afghanistan forever, the same way we want to be we've been in Okinawa, and we've still been in Germany for 70 years. I mean, do you not see the pattern here? Oh, we're leaving, and then we're going to leave 7,000 troops behind. Oh no, we're coming home, but we're going to lose 50,000 troops. We're going to leave this viceroy in charge. It's the same model we do. It's the same model everywhere. We have to be removed. The Kurds have to overthrow us. But the Kurds right now are not going to overthrow us because they stupidly believe aligning with us is the best way for them to get their independence. They're going to find out that's a Faustian bargain. Because, you know, we're always going to throw them overboard and fuck them in the ass anyway, because that's what we always do. Whatever. All right. I'm going to get the questions because it is now 8:17, and then we'll start talking about whatever else comes up. Yes, I agree with Stoyanovich that Turkey is trying to rescue their Muslim Brotherhood jihadis from Idlib, and we're going to move them over to fight the Kurds in Manbij and east of the Euphrates River. So yeah, the deal between the Americans and the Turks wound up with the Turks getting the better end of the deal relative to their initial negotiating position. The Turks are going to have observation points east of the Euphrates River, which is, you know, in the short term is actually a good thing. Iran, they have if they have nukes, they have a big problem with the Stuxnet virus in their system. Yeah. Australia says, Tom, have you been slowly conditioning your wife for a winter camping event over your ranch yet? I'm ready and will supply the bourbon. It's a dry bourbon because like sweet bourbons. No, I have not actually. So sorry. Not even remotely prepared for something like that. Sorry, guys. Not happening anytime soon. No, we're not having Luongo Fest 2019. Certainly not 2019. Pat McLeod reminds us that it's much easier to egg someone on to be a mass murderer than to actually go ahead and give order. So, and Thordoom pipes up. You can tell the world order is changing slowly. Saw today that Macron with Putin. Macron was very complimentary to Putin, saying how Russia is part of Europe and how they will always be an ally to Europe. Yeah. Again, Macron is trying to butter Putin up. He still firmly believes that France is going to be at the head of that European order. Let's not kid ourselves. This is, and if you think that Putin believes one word that comes out of Macron's mouth, you're out of your mind. But yeah, he's going to toady up to Putin as best he can because he knows that in the long run, if the EU is going to survive, they're going to survive with the Russians and the Chinese and not the Americans, because the Americans are. And then Putin reminded Macron of how many Yellow Vest protesters died under his watch. Oh, that. Like I said, there's Putin with the smackdown. Let's see. France is trying to remain relevant in Syria. I know. A former colony. The French are delusional when it comes to Syria and Lebanon. The French are you can just stop there. The French are delusional. Tom, did the death of Sergeant Matt Tonro in Syria being ruled by the MOD investigation due to U.S. coalition force across your radar? No, it didn't. Barely made a blip here. No one asked why he was even there. No, I did. I missed that all. Yep, Meandering Mango Man of Mango Stan. Love the name, by the way. It's aggressive alliteration, my friend. The United States will stay anywhere for as long as we can. Alvacaro says it's a pseudo empire, though, and we'll stay. We can't even be imperial right. I don't care about. Dragon Ross says, "Look, I don't care about Ilhan Omar. Neither do I. At this point, she is a made-up figure by Zach Exley and George Soros. Exactly. I mean, Ilhan Omar. She even. I mean, watching. I think I saw something with Rashida Tlaib, like, I don't know, having a seizure in public. I think. Well, and to get into these people are complete and utter frauds, and they're complete and utter waste. They're they're not the face of the future. They're not they're not gonna be our future leaders of America. They are a wrecking crew designed to destroy the DNC. So that Zach Exley, Cenk Uygur, and George Soros can take over the Democratic Party and then turn it into for what they're going to turn it into. But whatever it is, it will definitely deny the Armenian. Liberty Lister, don't swear, Tom. It doesn't suit an educated gentleman like yourself. We look up to you. Well, I got news for you. You've been watching this stream long enough. The mark of an educated gentleman, and I'm no gentleman, but I am educated, is that he has the command of facts at his disposal, and facts and philosophy. Learn it. Hallmark of smart people, really smart people, is they swear like fucking sailors. It just goes with the. I don't know how to. You know how hard it is to do an hour interview on Jeff Rense? Swear. It's tough. And it's channel. The way I get it out of my system. So it is what it is. But I appreciate the sentiment and I appreciate you looking out. Unfortunately, I've given this a lot of thought. And every time I try to keep it clean, it lasts about 12 minutes. Time me. All right. Some idiot reporter asked a demonstration, says Tweety Bird, in Russia, and he was annoyed and asked about the yellow vest protest. Kind of embarrassing, Macron. Oh wow, that's beautiful. To leave is always it's always having a seat. There's only been one hope and change candidate for years. It's the same one over and over and over again. They just repackaged them. One was a drunk, one was not a citizen, and the other one was a reality show TV host. But they're all basically, and people who swear tend to be more honest in general. It's hard not to be, because I don't have anything to sell. I mean, I do, right? I mean, I'm trying to sell you a newsletter. I'm trying to sell you. Mostly, I just keep it alive. What I'm selling here is, what I'm selling. But news for you: I don't need to make $1 million. I don't need to have 1,000. I don't need to have 5,000 people on my show. I couldn't read the comments even. I prefer there to be 200 or 300, or certainly to have 10 or 15,000 people. Okay, with what we have, and we'll build it slowly, and we'll build it with people who will take the good, the bad, the ugly, the profane, and the profound. Right? Just better that than a bunch of ne'er-do-wells. I've had those people, and they followed Adam Gingrich, Sobek, Mitchell, Mike Cernovich, and frauds. Goddamn one of them. It's fine as long as you're a Trump knob bobber. Stop bobbing Trump's knob. Hey man, persona non grata. You're not MAGA enough. Ain't a fucking cult. All right. Stephen Burnett says, we love you, Tom. We'll take you as you are. If you didn't, you'd have been gone by now. But I do appreciate this. After Epstein, the Magnitsky sanctions are laughable. Oh, aren't they? Right? The Brett Harris brings up a brilliant point, right? So here we are going around the world trying to get people to pass a version of the Magnitsky Act, and so that we can go after governments and government officials who commit human rights abuse. And here's a classic example of a human rights abuse being committed in an American jail. I don't see anybody sanctioning us under human rights. We're documented human rights abusers all around the world. Abu Ghraib. No one went to jail over Abu Ghraib. Nobody lost their job over Abu Ghraib. They got commendations, if anything. That's how sick and twisted and disgusting we are. That's how sad and lonely and pathetic the MAGA crowd is for even going along with any of it. For countenancing it. For, Bolton's not really that bad. He's not really a neocon. Meandering Mango Man of one of Mango Stan says, I found that most people who are intelligent swear more because they don't feel like they have anything to prove. Or they just look around the world and go, people really that dumb? Yeah, Tom, they're really... No, dude, really, are they that dumb? No, really, they are. Come on, they can't be that dumb. Yeah, man, they're that fucking dumb. But dude, really? No, they can't be that dumb. Really, no, they can't. Yeah. They really can't. I know. I understand that this is not safe for work or minors. And believe me, we really did try for a long time with my daughter to keep our mouths shut and be on the up and up and keep it clean, and it didn't last. It really didn't. My daughter swears like a sailor, and she gets away with it. And I'm not even getting away with it. I just, every time she swears, right, I reflexively want to say, but I can't. Because that's the way I was brought up. I wasn't allowed to swear in front of my mom at all, even when I was 30, I wasn't allowed to swear in front of my mom. Yeah, certain words were off limits. You could say shit, you could say damn, but certain words, you couldn't. The cocksucker was like right out. I could say it in front of my dad. My dad was a cop. He didn't give a shit. He swore worse than I did. My God, I learned shit from that man. But it was just not done. Kind of a traditional family. It's swear, but just not in not in front of the family. Come on, you know. At home, let it fly. In public, try and keep it clean. Of course, this is public, right? But it's not really. Nebula zone between public and private. It's like it's not any swinging dick. Any swinging dick can walk in this room, but not every swinging dick's gonna. All right. Amorsalia says, "Do I know anything about the Anarchopulco? I love it. Oh, I fucking love it. Anarchopulco event in February for libertarian free thinkers, etc. conference. No, I haven't seen that. That's really kind of cool. Leave details in the comments to the stream. Not that I have like, I mean, birthday present. Yeah, birthday present. 52. I'll even bring a deck of cards. Play poker. It's the ultimate anarcho-capitalist game. Where are we here? Dude, why do you have to use so many cuss words? What are you talking about? Who funds the Russian demonstrations? Victoria Nuland's ex-department, the State Department, whatever it is. NGOs. Well, Soros NGOs have all been thrown out. I'm sure there are other ones. All hail McCain's brain tumor. Now I'm just cutting in and out. Yes, I did say Adam Gingrich. Do you remember him? Whatever happened to Adam? Did he, like, you know, finally get too drunk and, like, fall down one day? Today is the 1-year anniversary of John McCain's passing. All hail John McCain's brain tumor. Finally calling out Adam Gingrich. Dude, he fucking blacklisted me for, like, nothing 2 years ago. I called that guy a little bitch, like, for 3 months, and then I got over myself and moved on. Yeah, he's a little bitch. I had a great laugh on Russian 60 Minutes last night about Trump buying Greenland. Oh, I mean, we could put a lot of snow to shovel. Oh, wait, it's August 25th, not today? All right, well, never mind. Doesn't matter. It's never a bad time to celebrate John McCain's brain tumor. Ever. I mean, with beer, with pot, your drug of choice, your adult beverage of choice, your thing. Rock on with your bad self. I mean, you know, I don't, you know, if it's going to be profane, just do it privately. But moment of silence for John McCain's brain tumor, always and every day, twice on Sunday. Western embassies equal CIA outpost. Yep. Yes, Tom, they really are that dumb. Nobody went for us post 9/11 Guantanamo Bay either. We quietly let a lot of those guys go without ever charging them. Total lack of evidence. I know. Hey, Tom, Nikki Haley tried for president in 2020 against Trump. Now is waiting for Trump to run in 2024. Oh, by the way, gotta remind everybody. Actually, the next time I'm on Halsey, I have to like whack him over the head with this. Oh, by the way, whatever happened to Nikki Haley being in the Trump administration 6 months after she was fired? Winner, winner, chicken dinner. No fucking way was she ever going to be let back in. Do New York Italians actually swear? I find this shocking. Kind of fucking do. I vomit at the thought of Nikki Haley running in 2024. Well, you know. Because she's going to run in. I still don't cuss in front of my mama. Good evening, Mark Bogosian. How are you? Well, that's cool. You go. So Shadok says, we swear, but our kids won't. Not sure why. We've never said anything. You say something positive of the Trump era is that Rand Paul has another chance in 2024? I don't think so. I don't know. We'll see. So Adam Gingrich has a YouTube channel called the MAGA Coalition. What a jackass. Yeah, but that seems reasonable. That seems reasonable. I mean, you know, it's about as imaginative as possibly. I wonder. If, I guess, you know, is Bill Mitchell going to need a job over there? Greenland will be green one day. Just thank global warming. No, Greenland will be buried under sheets of ice. I don't care about Trump wanting to buy Greenland. I wish he would. I honestly, I wish he would focus on that and just bring all the troops home. Bring the troops home and the wars, all that, and then focus on trying to get Denmark to give you Greenland. Can I please swear in Italian? Not on the me. Not all I know. Bangul. I don't know any Italian. Not Italian. How I can swear in Italian. Haley almost started World War III. No way she ever finds political footing again. I honestly think that that's the case. If my interpretation of the events surrounding the Russian Eland plane getting shot down is correct, and Haley was the one actually providing the conduit, an informational conduit between Russia, France, the UK, France, and the Israelis behind Trump's back in order to get him into World War III. That's why she was. Dan Crenshaw is becoming more intolerable each day. Pretty much. Guys are conservatives. Suck. Conservatives suck. They just do. Okay? Honestly. Everybody you actually respect is a closet libertarian. Even the libs, like Tulsi Gabbard, are more libertarian than most of the freaking. They can talk a good game. Oh, guys like Dan Crenshaw, great at talking a good game. They're great at hitting all the high points and then twisting the knife and saying, no, but this is why we really need a state. Then we're going to do all this, and we're going to create these really good. We're going to create these really good gun laws that will. Conservatives always fucking do. They're just these fucking NRA country club jackasses. They know where their fucking bread is buttered, and they know how they get reelected. They get reelected because they toe the freaking party line. I didn't know that Murdoch owned MarketWatch, but I'm not surprised how he's going to lose. How 5 ways Trump is going to lose in 2020. I can come up with about 10 more, but I can also come up with about 50 ways why the Democrats have no chance. So, you know, 15 to 50, Trump wins. Plus or minus. The U.S. spent billions on a failed base in Greenland in the 1960s. I don't think Crenshaw is actually conservative. He's openly stated that we need an endless open war, and he came out for the red flag laws. I know. He's a mini McCain tumor in 2020. The Koch brothers are not libertarian. Koch brothers are globalists who think they're libertarian. And watch Tucker Carlson's space carefully. Like, pulling the whole, this is the Koch brothers are the face of libertarianism, and that's why libertarian. Koch brothers are fake libertarians who've destroyed all of the libertarian institutions except for the Mises Institute. Destroyed Cato, destroyed Reason Magazine. They destroyed the Quarterly for Libertarian Studies. They've destroyed all of that stuff with a particular and the Libertarian Party. And they've done it with a single-minded approach to one, because they thought they can take Leviathan over from within and work within the system to make it better, which is bullshit. That's their argument. That's the argument they've been using to libertarians for years to get people to corrupt them and get them to back them. At the end of the day, they're just fucking open. They're just open borders liberals and Marxists. Fuck those guys. They're not decentralization. They're not anarcho-capitalists. They do not believe in the non-aggression principle. Period. They are some of the most reprehensible people. They are dangerous. Side to decentralization does make systems more robust and make them much more fragile, in the words of Nicholas. And The NRA was attacked on Fox News yesterday. Well, Murdoch has started the campaign for gun control has started on Fox News. Not that I'm a big fan of the NRA, because I'm not. But when you start seeing that, you know that that Fox is about to turn into the liberal shitbag station that they. Why can't Ron and Rand Paul just raid the RNC and live in America? All right. If anything, I have more respect for leftists than I do conservatives, because at least leftists are open about being your enemy. Exactly. So do I. I mean, the conservatives want to destroy the libertarians because they think we're some kind of weird offshoot of them. When the truth of the matter is that they're just weird offshoots of us. The Tea Party showed how many fake libertarians there are. They picked that carcass clean before it had a chance. They set it up. Karl Rove created it at the Tea Party. He created wing of the Republican Party. He created it out of whole cloth to suck in the good men and then destroy their reputation. And then destroy their reputation. It was horrific. And every leftist that I talk to is, oh yeah, well, those fucking Tea Party guys. I'm like, those Tea Party guys aren't fucking libertarians. Or have you not been listening to a word I've been telling you for the last 50 years? If the sound is cutting in and out, I'm not sure what to do. There's something weird going on with the mic. The NRA is not a good organization for supporting the Second Amendment. They are a good organization for teaching people gun safety. I make a distinction between the NRA's political arm and the goals of the organization, and what the NRA actually does in practice on the ground as an organization. Those are two completely different things. People who actually do the work for the NRA, programs together and everything else, they're fantastic. Political arm, they're fuckers. Dragan and anyone who spends $1 trillion of taxpayers' money on a government program, i.e. the military, is an extreme socialist. Bingo! That's pretty much all Republicans, including Trump. They're just different types of socialists. They argue about two wings of the same bird of prey. The only thing they really argue about is the 35 is how they're going to split up the little bit of discretionary spending they actually have within the budget. And Republicans want 65% of it to go to the military and farm subsidies, and the Democrats want 65% of it to go to fucking Medicare and Social Security. To be honest with you, the neoconservatives are not neoconservatives. Wrong. They are only obsessed with the Middle East and are Israel first. That's the definition of a neoconservative. They are Trotskyites. They are Trotskyite ex-Russian Jews, many of them, who are absolutely create of the opinion that the way to bring about the world revolution is through the destruction of Russia and the creation of Greater Israel. That is neoconservatism. Dershowitz was behind the Gatestone Institute when they endorsed a letter to the Pulitzer Committee not to reward the Miami Herald for fake news in the Jeffrey Epstein investigations. Insane. Of course, it's typical. If Americans actually understood the Libertarian Party, it would be huge. If the Libertarian Party actually understood the power of their own platform, they don't. The GOA is far better on gun rights than the NRA is. Yes, it is. And the Jews for proliferation of firearm ownership, all 50 of them, they're far better. Go read up on the JPFO. Those people kick ass. This is my Naxalt argument about Jews. I'm like, no, the JPFO are fucking awesome. They're the hardest core friggin' pro-gunners you'll ever meet. They don't have any political power. Tom, you are solid with your facts. Good to hear sense for one. Thank you. Gun owners of America are better on gun rights, but their political arm, they're kind of short on understanding, the basic tenets of federalism. Trust me, I wasn't pro-gun enough for them. I ran for right here because their questionnaire was meant. I was meant to bubble in all 20 of 20, and like got into the stuff about local governments shouldn't have the ability to usurp state and federal law. I'm like, shit. That's like the very definition of federalism, you fucking retards. Absolutely. If the county commission in Alachua wants to ban fucking AR-15s, let them go ahead. We'll all move out and we'll move to Columbia County where AR-15s are legal and encouraged to be shot along the fucking highway. Neocons are radical interventionist SJWs of the Marxist variety. Neocon equals big government conservative. They are crazed ideologues that hate decentralization, hate Russia, and want to take over the world. They are Trotskyites. 8:43. I'm gonna give this 5 minutes and then I'm gonna get out of here tonight. FYI, for those of you who can't get enough of me, I have started a Discord server. Talk about this for a couple minutes before I leave. I have started a Discord server. It doesn't have much there. Hell, it's just me and Sophie at this point. We're going to use it for coordinating when we go to play Classic WoW in a week, World of Warcraft. And any of you who are interested, you're more than welcome to join us. And those of you who have shown interest, please, I'll leave a link in the first comment on this video tonight. But if you do want to get a hold of me, or you want to like drop me notes outside of Twitter, because I fucking Twitter, and we shouldn't use it. You can log into the Discord server there, share, chat. If you need to chat, obviously I can be available for impromptu voice chats and whatnot. And once once we're up running and playing WoW, I mean, I'm gonna be on Discord all the time. I'm gonna have a headset in. If you want to come and chat, you just pop into the room. Chat. If we're not running a dungeon, guess what? Leveling is like almost mindless. So plenty of stuff to sit and chat about, and chat for the day. What is Discord? North on 60. Look it up. It's a chat and voice chat messaging platform. And we can each have our own separate channel. I have one for Gold Goats. Did I mention the U.S. threatening Greece over the Iranian tanker? No, I didn't, but it's just more pathetic. Trump is pathetic stuff from France. What a shock. We're threatening our allies over. Dragon M says, apparently the New York Times staff were told to switch from Russiagate to racism to try and destroy Trump. What a joke of a newspaper. Total Orwellian fake news rag. And that's been its modus operandi since that way. Paper of record, reputation, and has been nothing more than massive propaganda rag. Thank you, Liberty. Thank you, Liberty. You take care. You have a great night. You know, FYI. I don't like most of these platforms, but dude, Discord is so much easier than creating a Ventrilo server. All right. Oh, there you go. I think that's close. I think we got maybe 1 or 2 more minutes. Anybody got anything else they want to talk about? Oh, you should feel badly for the Greeks, but they will have, for the first time in a long time, they will have competent government. And what I know about, if the sound is coming and going, it's coming out of it's the microphone, and there's something wrong. We had static on the one channel on the microphone. I've got it on another one, which I don't speak directly into the microphone. So, it is what it is tonight. Figure it out. Which is why I'm going to go in a minute, because I'm going to actually. The sound is good for Jeff Renz, because I will be on with Jeff Renz. For those of you who missed the beginning of the show, I will be on with Jeff Renz at 9 o'clock right after this. This is why I'm going to leave early tonight, so I can get another cup of coffee, work out any sound issues I not have. So, all right, that sounds like a show. So as always, if you can donate to the stream service either through PayPal or Patreon or Brave or however you want to do it. Anything you can donate would be great. Many of you have, and have my eternal respect and my eternal thanks on that. Other than that, guys, it's been fun. I don't know if it's been real fun, but you'll be the judge of that. You're the ones who always show up. So enjoyed it as always. Talk soon. Keep your second.